Hundreds of new jobs are expected on the North Shore as a major American company makes a multi-million-dollar investment in Slidell.
As Tom Trung reports, that investment comes as Louisiana is reporting record high employment.
On Thursday, Slidell Mayor Randy Fandel celebrated the grand opening of a home outlet store. The ribbon cutting follows a major announcement that the multi-industry company Textron is investing millions of dollars at its Slidell locations.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Slidell hadn't seen industry coming here since probably the late 80s, maybe.
Textron is planning to invest $5.8 million in 2 sites in Slidell. According to the company, most of that money will be dedicated to improving its workforce and facility here on Gauze Boulevard. Mayor Fandel says Textron actually bought the property at 1010 Gauze.
We've been maintaining it probably $500,000 a year at a loss. And to see Textron expand like they're doing and purchase that property and get it off our books, it's a win-win for the city.
Part of Textron's footprint in Slidell includes work supporting next-generation vehicles to replace tanks like the M2 Bradley. Its latest investment is said to create over 350 direct and indirect jobs.
And a lot of these jobs are engineering, fabrication, technicians, to the tune of an average salary around $95,000, way above the parish average of around $58,000, $59,000.
Textron's announcement comes at a time when Louisiana's Workforce Commission is reporting near record high employment in the state, with strong growth on the North Shore, especially in Slidell, which saw 700 more jobs compared to last year. Russell Richardson with the St. Tammany Economic Development Corporation says with the parish's proximity to 3 interstates and a major port and city in New Orleans, the North Shore is capitalizing on the population boom it experienced post-Katrina.
People and populations are settling in, companies are locating here, and these expansions are starting to happen so that workforce is here regionally around the North Shore as well as the broader New Orleans region to supply these companies.
Textron says some of its upgrades in Slidell will begin in the middle of this year with completion in 2027. Local leaders say they're working to attract 50 other companies to a parish that continues to grow. In Slidell, Tom Trung, Fox 8 Local First.